Good to see everybody. I want to thank you guys for being here. Welcome back.
Shout out Quasi, shout out O'Connell. Before I start, you already know. Shout out Quasi, shout out O'Connell, dog. Hands down, man down. You know, wish them both the best. Never get it misconstrued, man. This is the new team. This is the new culture, man. This is the new Vikings, dog. Period.
Obviously, we haven't had the opportunity to speak, since the tragic passing of Khyree Jackson, Anthony Litton, and Isaiah Hazel.
Rest in peace, Khyree Jackson. Rest in peace, all those dudes, man. No cap. Rest in peace, all those dudes. May they soul find peace. Heavy, man.
Out of respect for the families impacted, we really wanted to let them go through their process and make the arrangements accordingly. And
facts, I respect that part of it. I respect that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Respect the family, right? Like he said, as respect for the family. Like most people didn't have respect for the family. You hear me? Shout out Kevin O'Connell, man. The Vikings as well. You hear me?
Before we address you guys, so felt like this was the appropriate time to do that. And beyond the initial statements that we released, just thinking about getting that call that morning. I was actually on the West Coast at the time, and it's the call you really, as a head coach, and
you can tell it bothers him. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's still probably worked up about it. You see the energy. You know what I'm saying? And KOC, he definitely a coach that I think cares about his players, man. I don't think he's putting on a front. You never know until you know, but I don't think he's putting on a front, dog. He never disrespects his players live. He never bashes them, trashes them. You hear me? He never pulled a Mike Zimmer on no player, right? Disrespected a player, talk bad about him. You never see KOC doing that. His big thing is relationships, brotherhood, trust, loyalty, etc. Right? So you can tell he's still probably hurt by it, man. Know what I'm saying? What you expect, right? You in the chat, like it up. You in the chat, like it up.
I've had some dialogue with a lot of the other coaches around the league as well. It's the call we all absolutely fear, more than anything, especially this time of year where you've had a off-season program. The energy is high, the enthusiasm is high, and you're, hoping to get your team back and to get that phone call and know that, not only Khyree, but, 2 other tragic lives were lost, all young adults gone way, way too early.
It's tough. Like you said, it's tough, especially when you're going in a certain direction, then tragedy happens, But at the end of the day, you got to keep pushing, man. You got to keep pushing. You got to get that energy back. You hear me? Heavy, though. It's not easy. Easier said than done, but you got to bring that chemistry back, that bond back. You got to bring it back full circle eventually, though. Like I said, they got to play hard for Khyree. You know what I'm saying? They really care about Khyree, care for Khyree, this and that, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they can show it, huh? There's many ways to show it, right? Especially on the field. Heavy.
That it just leaves you heartbroken. And your thoughts and your prayers and your support for the family. And I'm so proud of this organization for how we have handled it and will continue to handle it. And it stayed.
In respect to the Vikings, man, I heard, I think in the news, we'll get to that later, but they helped the family with the funeral or paid them out a certain amount of money, a certain amount of funds. So shout out to the Vikings for that, dog. Just helping the family out. Tragic situation, man. Rest in peace, Khyree.
Stays with you. I want to really highlight, and I know Kwesi's going to get into a little bit more, but I want to highlight not only the Wilfs and our organization, how we've handled it, but the NFLPA as well, playing a role in kind of, what will be to come for Kyree's family and how we support and honor that family will be, critical. From the moment Khyree was drafted and showed up here, he's had a unique journey, up until that moment. And I was always, throughout the draft process and then his early time being a Minnesota Viking, you felt a guy that
had everything right there in front of him, right there in front of him. And like you say, definitely a unique journey, dog. He was on his way. He had really already reached his dream, right, as far as being an NFL player. You know what I'm saying? You definitely a different journey though, man. But he fought through it. He didn't stop. That's what it's about, right? That's definitely what it's about. You talk about a guy who was working and packing meats, thought about being a professional 2K player, giving up on his dream. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what, he kept going, kept pushing, kept fighting heavy, man. Man,
It had such a laser focus on what his mission, his plan was, and it really showed up in the spring. He had a very, very good spring and was really looking forward to coming back to training camp and being well on his way on that path to having a big impact on our team for this year. So just some of my personal dialogue with him and the work he was putting in throughout the summer, you just knew he was going to come back and do that. So
we knew which direction he was propelling. He was propelling upward. Like it wasn't hard to see, man. He had the potential to be a great cornerback. You know what I'm saying? You talking about day one starter, week one starter in the NFL, no? The size, the speed, etc. It was all there. It was all there, man. Tragic story, tragic situation. But everyone saw the raw talent he had, dog, the raw size, things that you can't coach, right? Certain things, whether a player has it or not. You hear me? That's what it's about. He had that, man. He had that. And it will hurt. It's not just a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month thing, dog. They are playing for Khyree. They have dedicated the season to Khyree. You hear me? So I hope they play like it, dog.
Ultimately a tragedy. Like I said, a life ended far too early. And at the point of life he was at and the journey he had been on up until that point, really a guy who, was on his way to what I believe in my heart would have been a very, very successful NFL career. And
Facts, man. Everybody believed it. Everybody saw it, right? And he was focused. He was zoned in, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't putting the work in. He was putting the work in, huh? He was ready. The dude was ready, man. Here, man, he was ready, dog.
Like I said, just incredibly unfortunate. And with that, I'll turn it over to Quace.
Yeah, just a few words about Khyree. I remember the first time I saw him up close. It was at the Senior Bowl doing one-on-one reps in the red zone. He had a penchant for commentary, let's say, and
just a true overall star, right? Superstar, right, dog? You know what I'm saying? Nice dude, friendly guy, outgoing. You hear me? It's crazy. Just gave him a compliment. He was having fun, man. Having fun. Dog.
The player that he was playing against didn't seem to be having very much fun, but I think Khyree was just a joyful spirit. You fast forward to top 30 visits when he's sitting in my office, and I ask a lot of the guys the same question to kind of, break down some of the barriers that can happen in those environments and really get to see what's inside their soul, what kind of things they value, how they were raised. And he's talking me through his favorite song by Major 9. And he said something to me that, ultimately helped lead to why we wanted to bring him in this building, but just speaks a lot to how he was brought up. But he said, Quace, there's no wishes in this life. You get out of life what you put into it.
So he definitely was an in-tune guy, in tune with himself. Understood hard work, man. He said no wishes, huh? Man. No wishes, you get out what you put in, huh? Rest in peace, Khyree, man.
Between his joy, the way he attacked life, and then also just that hardworking spirit was partly why we were so excited to add him to this building, to this culture. And it's a tragedy that he's not here.
That's why you ask courses, even with that statement he made, like you wonder, like you get out what you put in, but he was putting in the work, putting in the effort, right? Staying focused on his dream, just staying focused, huh? Ready to take the next step. So you got to ask yourself, what was he putting in? He was walking the correct path, right? Going the right direction. Tragedy struck him, huh? So it's a lot of courses, man. Some things you may not understand, no, but man. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't walking no path toward destruction, right? You know what I'm saying? At least as far as we know, huh?
Here, and again, I just want to pass my condolences to his family, the Hazel family, and the Litton family as well. Kevin and myself, we will travel out to the funeral on Friday. We will bring some other people from the Minnesota Vikings as well.
Shout out JDT93 in the building. JDT393 in the building. Shout out, man. Yeah, heavy, dog. JDT93 in the building. Let's get it, man. Yeah, we here. Let's get it.
We plan to have a celebration of life for Khyree and his family here, an intimate gathering with his.
Respect that, man. You know, respect that. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah, and as far as I respect the way the Vikings moved about the whole situation, from helping with certain funds, you know, covering certain funds, right? Remembering Khyree, dedicating the season to Khyree, right? I'm saying they're gonna have a ceremony for him, so you got to respect the Vikings, man, just for the efforts they're showing, man. You know, especially about the respect for the family, huh?
Teammates and staff and family here in Minnesota. We will get those details out when they happen, but the planning is already in place. We, you know, Kev said it, and I'll continue to say it. We have great ownership here. It's never a question of details or anything like that. It's always, what's the decent thing? What's the human thing? What is the right thing to do? That's always the question they ask.
Right, as you said, right? It's like right and wrong, this and that. Like, what's right, what's wrong? You're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. Correct. So they basically, it's simple. You know what I'm saying? Well, what would be the right thing for the Vikings to do? And I'm sure that's what they're doing. Huh?
Myself, Rob, and Kevin in these environments, and we always give them that answer, and they always support it. So I always want to make sure I'm mention them in these in this setting. But in the meantime, while we continue on, we'll continue to honor Khyree. I know I've lost a father early, a close friend in college at a young age, and how I honored them and how I think we'll all honor Khyree is by the memories we have of him while we travel every day and we think and laugh and smile about what he might have said or what he might have did, how we live our lives, how we smile, how we live with joy, how we work hard, how we.
Facts, you know. Not taking that for granted, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? How, you know, how will they remember him, dog, the players, etc. You know what I'm saying? Will they understand the opportunity that was taken away from Khyree, correct? You know what I'm saying? Will they understand the opportunity that was taken away from Khyree Jackson, dog? When they play hard, will they appreciate the moment? You hear me? That's what it's about, man. Huh? Shout out JDT93 in the building. Gonna have KJ on helmets this year, too. Respect, man. That's even better, dog. That's even better, man. Respect to the Vikings. Yeah, man. Got to keep the man alive, you know, keep his energy in the building for real, huh?
We approach our craft. That's how we'll honor him on a day-to-day basis. And in that environment, there's nobody else I'd rather have leading this team than this guy sitting next to me. Just the culture he's built. And
shout out Kwesi, shout out O'Connell, man. Just like he said, the culture Kevin O'Connell has built. Facts, man. Like, people get it misconstrued. Or I might make a video talking about O'Connell. I'm gonna keep it real. You tighten up, we need to tighten up, dog. Period. I want to see them boys win. Ain't nothing, Brian, the true fan here. But like you said, the culture they brought, both of them, man, both of the cultures they brought into Minnesota, to the organization, man. You want to see them win, man. And will they win? Will they make history? You know, time will tell, dog. SKOL them facts, man. Class act work, no cap, man. Definitely class act work, man. But like you say, the culture both of these guys has brought into the squad, to the team, man. It's undeniable. You can't deny it, right? Different culture, different energy, man. Period, huh? Let's get it.
And that'll test it, but I'm sure we'll be up to the task. And with that, I'd like to open up the questions.
Kevin, when it comes to just helping the team deal with the loss of Khyree, I guess, what's your approach to helping these guys deal with something that's obviously very jarring for them?
Yeah, the unfortunate thing when it happened was obviously everybody's on their summer break on their own. So we tried to make.
I mean, you're asking a guy what his approach be. I mean, what could his approach be? Like you said, everybody's at summer break, everybody's gone. Like I say, he could, you know, call a team meeting or have a team Zoom, just bring the team together, see where everybody's mental is at, make sure everybody's on the same accord, right? But him as a coach, he can only do so much at the same time. Players are gonna cope with it how they cope with it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Kevin O'Connell can't grab him by the hand and, you know, grab him, say, don't do this, don't do that, or walk with him, go with him everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, he makes it his job, his responsibility, but it's really not. Huh? Yeah, I mean, KOC can only do so much, dog, but let's get it.
Sure, through some of the great resources we have, in this building that we, either virtually or different ways, or made sure we tried to connect some of those guys initially in a group.
All right, like you just said, virtually, you know what I'm saying? Zoom call, etc. So, I mean, you do what you can, huh? That's all he really could do, is try to bring guys together as much as possible, but it's tough when somebody in this state, somebody in that state, right? Somebody over here, over there. You know what I'm saying?
Setting